Daniel here for Tabletop for One, and my first impressions after 4 plays of Night. And I thank you for joining me tonight. Now, Night Flippin' Right is currently on Kickstarter. It is brought to you by the same designer who did Island Alone and Space Alone. And so this is a new entry into the Flippin' Right print and play market. And it's a very solid entry. Now, bear in mind that I was provided with a preview prototype copy of the game in its print and play format. But let's go ahead and talk about what I think about this game. Now, the gameplay in Night Flippin' Right is very similar to other Flippin' Right games. See, you're going to flip over a card at the beginning of the round, and you're going to choose on that card one of 2 columns to choose. And in each of those columns, you'll get some resources. It'll activate a bonus or an action on your board, and then it'll also give you a penalty. And the penalty comes in the form of the warring nation marching troops towards your castle. And so when you choose your resources, you're going to gain those resources and you're going to start spending them on the court card. And on the court card, there's all sorts of things. There's, the church, there's the king, there's arming your character, there's all sorts of things you can spend them on. But you have to reach certain thresholds to get further along on each of the different tracks. And you reach those thresholds by, completing other tracks, gaining influence in other areas, and working your way through all these different areas to accomplish a goal. There's actually multiple goals because there's multiple scenarios to this game. See, you get to choose a scenario at the beginning of the game, and that scenario is going to give you the end game goals that you have to achieve in order to win. And so it provides, like this variable setup. We'll talk about this more in replayability, but yeah, the scenario goals are different. Your character's also different. You can choose from multiple different characters, and they have different personal goals that they prefer. Also, when you gain influence, you get certain bonuses, and each character has different bonuses and different thresholds for those bonuses. And so there's a lot of really good gameplay here. It's very combo-tastic, similar to Hadrian's Wall, where you're gonna cross off something here, get a bonus, then use that bonus to cross off something over there. Now, this is different than Hadrian's Wall. You'll see some similarities there, especially in the complexity of it. I'd say it's very similar to Hadrian's Wall, but the way it plays out is different in its own right. Now, let's talk about the replayability. And so the replayability of this game is huge. With the multiple scenarios, I only got a few scenarios and a few characters. I don't know how many he has planned when he releases the game, so there might be a lot more than that. Even with what I got, there was plenty to play. And the gameplay is so much fun that you just enjoy doing the combo nature of the game. Now, the characters themselves give you different goals to go towards and different ways to plan out the war and working on the map. And so the different characters will kind of shift your momentum and your direction in a different way than you would do each game. And so with the combination of characters and scenarios, there's so much replayability. There's so many different ways to approach the game. Now, the court card is the same every time you play. So you're going to get used to, I need to unlock this, to unlock this, to unlock this. You're going to get used to that path. However, you might not take the same path every time you play. You might take a different approach depending on how the cards come out, depending on your character. And so, yeah, each game is going to be different, but the enjoyment of the game is so good there. And I guess we'll just talk about that. How much do I enjoy this game? I really enjoy this game. I enjoy this game as much as I enjoy Hadrian's Wall. I love the fact that there are multiple win-loss conditions every time you play, and depending on the scenario, it'll tell you how those work out. And so it provides a different challenge every time you play, and I like that challenge. Now, I do have to tell you one thing. Like, the basic scenario, which is the one I played the most, I got to the point where, I could beat it every time. So then it became a race of, how fast could I beat it? And so I was trying to beat my own score at that point as how quickly I could beat it. Now I'm going to talk about the effort it takes to print and play this game. So you're going to be printing character cards, so that's going to be multiple sheets. You're going to be printing the court card and the scenarios. So those are all normal 8.5 by 11 sheets, and you'll probably want to laminate them and for reusability, so that would be easier. And then you have to print some cards and cut those out, but there's not too many of those cards, so it's not too bad. And then you're going to need some tokens. I used these cubes here to track troop movements as well as the resources and stuff like that. So all in all, there's not too much that you need to print out and get ready for this game. It's fairly straightforward, and it's surprising given the amount of complexity that you get for this game. And with that, I want to talk about potential cons for this game. So first of all, there are a lot of icons. There's information overload, especially when you look at the chord sheet and you see all the different tracks and all the different icons. It's going to be overwhelming at first. After a play or two, it's not too bad because you'll get most of the icons, but trying to find the information on the sheet quickly is a little difficult. Let's say you have 2 of the blue resource and you want to spend 2 of the blue resource. You can't quickly glance at that page and know where you can find those things. It takes a little bit of searching. And so that might be a con for some people. And so sometimes my turns took a little bit longer, trying to find those items that I can use those resources on. Now, as you play the game and memorize where those things are, maybe that'll be better for you. My memory's not so good, so I'm constantly searching. So that might be a con. The rulebook isn't laid out in the best way. I had some trouble looking up some things, as well as there wasn't an icon reference sheet. I'm hoping that changes in the final production so that it helps you know exactly what things are and where they go. It really just kind of needs a general player aid, of round order and general information for the different actions. I think that would help. But that's about it. I mean, those things can be fixed by the time you guys get your copies, or maybe they are already fixed because I have a previous version, so it very well might be done there. I don't see the icon layout changing. I don't know of a better way to do it. It's kind of hard to it's kind of hard to say. There's a lot of information on there, and the fact is the game needs a lot of information conveyed. So the way he did it works well. It's crammed and it's small. And so it's kind of hard to see. So maybe you want to print it on a bigger sheet of paper, like 11 by 17 or something. That may make it easier for you to see all the icons and see the different areas. So maybe that's a solution. Now, would I recommend this game? Absolutely. I'd recommend this game, especially anybody who likes print and play games and anybody who likes Hadrian's Wall. By all means, I would say get this game. Now, the price is $5 for the basic edition, or maybe it's $6. I think it's $6, and I think it's like $11 for the all-in, which includes multiple scenarios and stuff. So I think the $11 is, while a little bit on the high side, I do think it's worth it for all the game that you get. And there's a lot of game here. Now, this is going to be one of those roll and writes or flip and writes that I will keep readily available to play on a moment's notice. I have a lot of print and play flip and writes and roll and writes and stuff like that, and I have them in an accordion folder. But this is one of those ones that I'm going to find a way to keep out and keep available. And because I really enjoy this gameplay, I love the combatastic nature of it. Whether I win or lose or win early on, the basic scenario, it doesn't matter because I have fun trying to figure out how I'm going to get to that point. How am I going to get to the point of winning? And if I win by a big margin, that makes me feel even better about it. It doesn't make me feel like I had it too easy. It makes me feel like I actually really, really accomplished something because I really managed my resources well and was able to, propel myself towards victory. So there you have it. That was my first impressions after 4 plays of Night, the Flip and Write game. Please check out the link in my description for the Kickstarter. It's currently ongoing. If you like print and play games, you can pledge for it there. But feel free to ask me any questions in the comments below. Please also like and subscribe to this channel if you like the content you see here. And I thank you very much for joining me on Tabletop for One. Have a great night.